everybody for your patience. Hello, finally. It was a bit old computer was a bit slow tonight, a bit like me, I think. Sorry. Welcome everybody to tonight's show. Welcome, Barb. Glad you're home from hospital and feeling a bit better. That's good to hear. No, Hannah does never show her face. Doesn't ever show her face on camera. So you won't see her, Kathleen. What else have I got here? Oh gosh, we've got a lot of people with us tonight, so that's really good. Barb, Judy, Diana, Michelle, Kathleen, Estelle, Patricia, me, lucky, Karen, Julie, beautiful, Lorraine. Okay, so I want to revisit building a stockpile tonight in light of the craziness that has gone on for the last 2 weeks. Because what has been happening over the last 2 weeks isn't stockpiling. Media can call it what they like. It's not stockpiling. That's just sheer panic buying. Stockpiling is very different to panic buying. And when you have a stockpile, you don't need to panic buy because you have your stockpile to fall back on. That's why we have them. Now, I'm just going to move the pooter out of my way a bit so I don't knock it. Stockpiling is done with a plan. It's done for a purpose, and it's not done last minute. It's you build it slowly, and you build it slowly because unless you're a secret millionaire who can run out and spend, $3,000 or $4,000 on groceries all at once, you have to, because we all have budgets and we all have limited income. Therefore, we have a limited amount to spend each week, fortnight, or month. So we do our stockpiling slowly over a period of time. The easiest way to do that is to go right back to basics, folks. And that's why I said before, hope you have a pen and paper, because you'll need one. Okay. Hello, Deborah from Geelong. Welcome. We have Kerry from Geelong. Hi, Kerry. There you go. You might be neighbours and not know it. Welcome. And it's nice to see you here. Now, we go back to basics, and that's why I said I hope you've got a pen and a paper, because before you can build a stockpile, you need to know what you use, and you need to know how often you use it and how much you use in that time. So, for example, we'll use Wheat Bix because it's easy. All right. When my boys were little, I used to go through 2 1-kilo packets of Wheat Bix a month. So to build my stockpile, I had to have more than 2 packets on hand. So when they were on sale, which wasn't very often because I'll admit I cheated and I bought they were from Jewel when the kids were really little, then from Aldi. I didn't ever buy Sanitarium Wheat Bix. So they rarely came on good sale. I would buy extra. That's how I built my stockpile. Item by item, sale by sale, but I only built the things that we used the most. To start off with, it was the things we used often. So the Wheat Bix, flour, sugar, butter, tomato soup, pasta, rice. They were the basic things, oil, tea and coffee. If they came on sale, they were the basics that I knew I wanted to have more than enough of in the pantry. So to find out how much was enough for us, I started tracking my groceries. And I've told you this before, how I used to write my shopping list out, and I'd have whatever the item was, the number we needed, the price. So I started tracking it because I worked out if I was shopping weekly, then to do a month's worth, I just multiplied each thing by 4. That gave me roughly a month's worth of each item. If I wanted 3 months, then it would be multiplied by 12. 6 months, you multiply by 26. But before I did that, I had to figure out what we ate regularly every shopping period. Now, I started off weekly shopping because we were paid weekly. And if you are paid weekly, then I would suggest that you start aiming to have 1 week's worth of groceries ahead. So you're eating this week's, but you've got next week's already. So when you do this week's shopping, you're shopping for a week ahead. You're not shopping for the immediate future, you're shopping ahead. If you get paid fortnightly, do the same thing. Aim to be 2 weeks in front with your groceries. If you get paid monthly, aim to be 1 month in front with your groceries. Start off small, because otherwise it will become overwhelming and you will give up, end up with stuff that you don't use, things that are running out of date, spending money that you don't really need to spend. So start off small. And the easiest way to do that is by following your pay period. So if you get paid weekly, aim to have 1 week in front, fortnightly, 2 weeks, a monthly, a month in front. Now, let me see. Okay. Hello, Meryl. Thank you for the jars, Meryl, and the scrapbooky, the card making things. I'm taking them to cards next week. All right, Estelle's got a question. I'll come back to that in a moment. And Anne's got a question, or a statement. I'll come back to that in a moment too. So start with that. But before you do that, you need to know what you use all the time. So your pantry basics. Don't start off trying to stockpile everything. It's overwhelming. Trust me, I know. I've been there. You'll fall in a heap and it's too complicated. Start with the basics, the things that are on your shopping list every week. So milk, and you can freeze milk, or you can switch to long life milk, or you can use powdered milk. But milk, butter, eggs, cheese, peanut butter, jam if you use it, flour, sugar, rice, tea, coffee, those sorts of things. Breakfast cereals, so Wheat Bix, rice, Wheat Bix, oats, rices, I was meaning to say. If you use tin soup, tomato soup, or cream of chicken soup, or tuna, or salmon, if you use those things regularly, every week, if they're in your shopping trolley every time you go shopping, pet food in your shopping trolley every time you go shopping, they're the things that you're going to start stockpiling first. Move on to your toiletries, so your toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant are the basics. Mouthwash if you want it are the basics that you need. Soap. If they're in your shopping trolley every time you go shopping, then that's on your list and they're what you're going to start stockpiling first. Now, to do that without going over budget, you're going to have to put a little effort in, folks. You have to do it yourself. I can't do it for you, and there's no genie in a bottle that will do it. There's no magic way to do it. You have to put the effort in and you have to do it. You need to make your basic list, work out how much you need each shop, and then you need to scour the catalogues, the websites, whatever, and find when they're on half price sale. Because when they're on half price sale, you can get 2 for the price of 1. So you're building your stockpiles by 1 without going over budget. Now, Estelle asked the question, when you find it on special, would you reduce the next regular purchase of the thing or keep buying the same amount? If you are building your stockpile, then when it's on half price, you buy the 2, and the next time it's not on half price, you just buy the 1. You just keep buying as normal unless it's on half price. If it's something that you aren't going to stockpile, then of course you don't buy it again. Or it's a random thing that you only use once a year, you only buy it when you need it. but you want to build your stockpile. So the idea is to be consistent in your shopping so that your groceries build up. Okay. No, lots of people. We were talking to a man on Sunday, and he has 8-month-old twins, and they don't have nappies. They were out of nappies now. Hate me for this, I know, but seriously, folks, cloth. Go to Big W and buy some flannel squares. If you've got to do it, you've got to do it. So if you Estelle, if you only shop monthly, then you aim to be a month ahead. Yes. Now you won't be able to do that straight away, because that would mean that 1 month you'd have to do 2 months worth of groceries, which throws your budget out. You do it slowly, so that when you're doing your monthly shop, you're looking at the things that are on half price and you're buying 2 of them, and you'll still be under budget or on budget. Okay. Yeah, wipes too, face washes. We're going to have to go old school, guys. If you've got babies in disposable nappies, you're just going to have to go old school and use cloth, shock horror, and wet flannels. Hannah mentioned to somebody, I don't know who it was, the other day, something came up and they were complaining about not being able to buy wipes, and she just looked at them and said, well, haven't you heard of a face washer? No. Ooh, it was a bit shock horror, but yeah, just go old school. And that means you're going to have to buy soaker. So you can get it from Aldi. Aldi still have plenty of soaker, or Coles have Sard soaker on half price this week if you like the Sard soaker, which brings it down to about 10 cents more expensive than the Aldi soaker. So if you don't buy the Aldi one, you like Sard, you can get 2 for the price of 1. Start your stockpile of laundry cleaning. Okay. Right. 4 kids in nappies. Oh my. Well, yeah, I know, but you know what? I had 3. Yeah, 2 for, and then 3, and then only 3 for a little while. It's hard work. Cloth nappies are hard work, because you have to soak them, you have to rinse them, you have to hang them out, you have to bring them in, you have to fold them, you have to put the liner in, you have to find the fluffies or the plastics or whatever you're going to put over the top of them. They are hard work. I will give you that. But, you know, when push comes to shove, you can either toilet train a newborn or, and I really don't think that works. But anyway. Maybe a nappy service and might work. I don't know how much they are. I don't even know if they're still around, but that might work for you. Yeah, okay. And I agree. Pop them in the shower, and you know what? If it's a hot day, there's nothing wrong with the garden hose out the backyard. Trust me. I had 2 boys. I used to hose them down all the time. They get covered in mud or whatever. Instead of a bath, we'd just squirt them with the hose. Country kids. Sorry, folks. That's a bit gross, isn't it? I'm reading your comments and trying to... All right, so we're going to start with working out how far ahead we need to be, a week, a fortnight, or a month. Then we're going to make a list of what we use most often, what's in our trolley every week or every fortnight or every month. Then we're going to look for those things that we're putting in our trolley that are on half price, and when they're on half price, we're going to get 2. or if they're on a really good sale, and it might not be half price because not everything goes on half price, but often it will be 20% off, 25% off. That's a reasonable deal depending on what it is. So you will buy extra. Now, to do that, you are going to have some form of slush fund if you aren't buying on half price. This is going to get confusing for you folks. Your slush fund is usually leftover grocery money. So if you are used to buying the same stuff, and honestly, most of us buy pretty much same old every time we go shopping. It's how we use it when we get home that makes a difference. But we buy the same basic ingredients and food items all the time. So we pretty much know how much it's going to cost. What's left out of your grocery budget, you move into your slush fund. So that next time you go shopping, if there's something on half price and you buy 2 and you've got enough to buy 4 because that'll help build your stockpile faster, then you take the money out of your slush fund to pay for that. Now, if you're shopping to the absolute cent every time you go shopping, then you won't have leftover money for your slush fund. In that case, you need to choose something that's going to, another budget category that you're going to fiddle with, and take $5 or $10, whatever you can afford, each pay period out of that budget category and move it into your slush fund and use that money to build up your stockpile. Lots of people will actually have a stockpile category in their spending plan, in their budget, that they allocate that $5 or $10 to each time they get paid to build up just to buy stockpile items. For example, butter. I was able to get butter for $6 a kilo, folks, over the weekend. I was able to get 1.5 litres of olive oil for a Bertolli olive oil for $7.50 at the weekend. So I had money in my slush fund purse, so I was able to buy 2 of those and $40 worth of butter, because it was, I don't know how much it was $40 and it came in a big box. So that butter is in the fridge because I'm going to can it so it will be shelf stable because I'm running out of fridge room. But I had the money, I had the cash in my slush fund purse to be able to do that. Now, in our forum, we've got the $5 grocery shopping challenge, which is things that you can spend $5 a week, things that you add to your pantry to build your pantry, but you don't spend more than $5 a week. Some people roll it over because they get paid fortnightly, so they do $10 a fortnight. It's still $5 a week. It doesn't really matter. That's a really interesting thread to look at to see what people buy with their $5 and how close they get, because they try to get as much as they can, as close as they can to that $5 without going over. And if they have change, they carry it over to the next week. Right. Okay. Cloth nappies. Cloth nappies are hard work. Old-fashioned cloth nappies are hard work. I don't know about the modern ones that are shaped and clips and things, but I had terry toweling squares that I had to fold and pin and do all sorts of stuff with. All right. Oh, Kathleen, that's great. Now, Kathleen, when we did no spending month for February, and we were all trying really hard not to spend, and I offended somebody and spent some money. I wondered how everyone will go. So Kathleen saved $300. So she's moved that to her stockpile fund. I think that's wonderful. All right, just trying to catch here. I have lots of cash purchases, Catherine. I'm increasing them because we've got a few extra things happening at the moment. So Hannah slipped me a couple of extra purses a few weeks ago, so because I had little pockets of money everywhere. All right. Yes, Kathleen, you can. Butter, look, tinned butter has been around for a long time. During the war, it was quite common, and I understand that butter was sent from here to Europe and the UK in tins, and I think it was a Lowry brand. I don't know if they still do butter, but I think that's the brand it was. It was in a gold tin anyway. I've seen pictures of it. So yes, you can can butter and make it shelf stable. And I'm running out of freezer room and fridge room, so that's my challenge, to do that. Right. To have shelf stable butter. It looks the same, it tastes the same, it's just a bit of a process to do it, so that'll be fun. Alrighty, now I have a list of some basics that I think should be in every pantry, but I'm a cook and a baker and a preserver, so bear with me. But flours, so self-raising, plain, wholemeal, corn flour, gluten flour and rice flour. They're the flours I have. Now I use rice flour in the shortbreads, I use rice flour to make pudding, gluten flour I use in bread. Instead of bread improver, I add a teaspoon of gluten flour per cup of flour, and I use it to make my schnitzels. Corn flour, wholemeal, plain and self-raising, pretty self-explanatory. Sugars, so I have white sugar, I have brown sugar, but I make the brown sugar. I have raw sugar, and I have vanilla sugar, but we move the vanilla sugar. I have rice, it's white rice. My family prefers white rice. I have a little container of brown rice that I have occasionally. Soups, I have tomato soup, these are tin soups. I have tomato soup and cream of chicken soup. Although there is chicken and corn, I think, over there, I must have picked up by mistake. They're the two tin soups that I use. Pastas, so I buy spaghetti and I buy noodles of some kind, twists or something like that, whatever's cheapest at the time when I'm doing my yearly shop. Otherwise, I make pastas really easy to make. It's a simple 1 egg to 1 cup of flour, make the dough, roll it out, cut it out, do what you like with it. It makes real, and that's how I do my lasagnas and the fettuccine, just like that. And fresh pasta is really good. It's really easy to do, and it's much cheaper to make fresh pasta than it is to buy it, and it doesn't really take that long. And it cooks in about 3 to 4 minutes. Let's put it in some boiling salted water. You do need to add salt. That's the only thing. And I don't like salt, so I'm a bit nervous always with just a pinch of salt, because to me that's too much. But you do need to add salt when you're boiling your pasta. Bicarb soda, baking powder, nuts like almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts are the 3 that I usually have on hand. Then you've got split peas and lentils, soup mix, you've got kidney beans, all those sorts of things. Choc bits or choc buttons or melts or whatever for those baking treats. If you want to move into long-term food storage, look for things like tinned peas or surprise peas. You can get the no-name surprise peas, corn, beans, beetroot, tomato, those sorts of veggies you can keep on hand. They're handy to have, and they're shelf stable, so you don't need to put them into the fridge or freezer until you've opened them. Tin fruit. Honestly, I think it's a bit of a shame that Australians don't eat the beautiful tin fruit that we have. peaches, apricots, pears, 2 fruits, beautiful plums. It's all Australian and it's just so good. And it used to be common that you would have, you know, peaches and ice cream or apricots and ice cream or whatever for dessert. And every household had tinned fruit. So I keep tinned fruits because we do eat them. Often Wayne will he might just have 2 fruits and a blob of yogurt on top. Makes him happy. And it's reasonably good. These days we're blessed to be able to buy the fruit in juice instead of in the heavy syrup, so it's even better. Make pasta on Thursday night. What do you want? I won't be cooking on until the kitchen goes in, but keep a list and let me know what you want. Oh no, hope you can get a new one, Anne. All right, hello Glenys. All right, so think about tinned fruits in your stockpile, especially in light of some sort of emergency. And I don't want to harp on about COVID-19 or coronavirus or anything else, and I'm trying very hard to not say that our Prime Minister's a moron and our Premier's a bigger moron and the Chief Medical Officer for Victoria is an even bigger moron, but they're really not dealing with this very well. At this point in time, there's no need to panic buy. People are panic buying. There is no need to panic buy. Take some precautions, but be sensible about it. I had to laugh. Joy's not on tonight, but she mentioned in the forum that she's not worried about buying toilet paper. She has some at home, and she's just waiting and saving her money because once this is over and the shelves are restocked with toilet paper, there's families out there that have got their 1,000 rolls and won't be buying it for 2 years. So it'll be really cheap, and that's when she plans to stock up. I thought that was I think that's brilliant. So maybe we should start the don't buy it now, wait till it's cheap Chinese whispers and see how that works. It depends, Estelle. Estelle's asking, how does tinned fruit compare to fresh price-wise? It depends what it is. Fresh fruit's expensive. Now, I was at Pellegrino's on, yesterday? Sunday. Yes, I've lost track. I don't like having public holidays. It throws me. Either Sunday or yesterday. Sunday, it must have been Sunday, and broccoli was $11.99 a kilo. Mushrooms were $10.99 a kilo. Lettuces have gone up to $4. Now, I know we've had drought, we've had bushfires, and it's caused a lot of hiccups in supply chains and things, but that's just ridiculous. For this time of year, that is just ridiculous. So we passed on the broccoli. I bought half a dozen mushrooms because I was making a particular dish that I wanted them for, and tried really hard not to choke at the prices of things. They were so expensive, and I'm not used to Pellegrino's being expensive, so I was a bit concerned. Fruit crumbles, caramelized pears, yum, and really easy to do. Pineapple in tins if you like to make apple pie. If you're not confident that you can stew fruit, then by all means buy the tin pie, peaches, pie apricots, pie apple, cherries, things like that. They, when you look at it and you look at the tin and you'll think, oh my goodness, it's so expensive. It's not really. Well, Coralie, I mean, they're buying mega packets of toilet paper that have got, 60 rolls in them, and they're buying 10 of them. Well, that's 600 there. Just ridiculous. I did notice a thing came through from Aldi today. They did have advertised 48 packs of toilet paper starting tomorrow, and they popped a thing on Facebook this afternoon to say, sorry folks, we actually released it at the weekend and there's none left. Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, bananas, that was cyclone. It was a cyclone that wiped out the banana plantations, Estelle, and everyone was buying banana essence and dried banana chips. Yuck. I don't mind dried banana, but banana essence just does not work. So there you go. All right. Okay, Barb, talk to you soon. All right. Yeah, Kerry, they've never been, Pellegrino's has never been as expensive as it was on Sunday. I couldn't believe it. It was very, thank you, Barb. Yes, Cyclone Yassi. I was like so grateful to have a garden and be able to use that. If you're dehydrating mushrooms, folks, I don't know whether Kerry knows, but always do them outside. Drying mushrooms stink to high heaven. Absolutely don't try and dry them inside. They are, it's just revolting. I always put them, well, in summer I do most of the dehydrating out in the veranda, but I make sure tomatoes and onions definitely go outside because mushrooms especially, are just awful when they're drying. The smell is shocking. There you go, Deborah. Yeah, the Coles tin fruit is good value at $2 a can. That is excellent value for the big tins. We're coming into autumn, so we should have cheap apples and mushrooms should be plentiful if you can get field mushrooms. Unfortunately, most of the mushrooms that we get these days are cultivated, which is why they're available all year round. So the price, unless there's a huge influx of field mushrooms, I think the prices will pretty much stay the same. Tomatoes don't smell so bad when they're dehydrating, Kathleen, but mushrooms and onions are just awful. All right. Yeah, and your dehydrator's outside, Kerry. Now, you can can mushrooms too. So that is something that I thought. Estelle, only put tinned fruit on your shopping list if you eat it. If you don't eat it, there's no point in having it on your shopping list, and there's no point in putting it into your pantry or your stockpile. Not just saying, not picking on you as such, but I'm just saying that's a good point that you just said you're going to put it on your shopping list. Don't put things on your shopping list that you don't use. It doesn't matter how cheap it is. If you don't use it, you don't like it, there's no point in buying it because it's a waste of money. And ditto things that you only use occasionally. Doesn't matter how cheap it is. If you only use it once a year, buying 10 tins because they were, $1 each, and you only use it once a year, is still a waste of money because you're going to have to wait an awful long time to get the return on that investment. So don't just buy because it's cheap. If you don't like it, you don't use it, don't buy it. Doesn't matter how much, it doesn't matter how cheap it is. Don't buy it. Ditto brands. Now, I always say don't be brand loyal. There's a couple of things that I like. Particular coffee, particular tea. Otherwise, I think I'm pretty flexible depending on what it is, yeah, you know. So, and I always say don't be brand loyal, but if you really don't like it, don't buy it. If the brand that you really like is more expensive and you buy the cheaper one because it's cheaper, but you don't like it, to me that's a waste of money. You work hard for your money, so you want it to give you the best it possibly can. Spending it on something that you don't like just because it's cheaper, perhaps cut back and buy the one you like, but only buy it half as often, or something like that, or wait till it's on sale and buy it and use your slush fund to buy a couple. But just because it's cheaper doesn't necessarily always mean it's the right buy for you. Itchy nose, and I know they shouldn't touch your face, but anyway. Tin fruit's very good value, and it's actually, if you buy the fruit and juice, it's really good for you and it's very versatile. So, all right. Okay, now, sorry guys, we're getting sidetracked. So we've done just a few things that are basics that should be in your pantry. Think about things, extra things too, like sauces, mayonnaises, salad dressings, spreads, mustard, salt, soy sauce. Do you use a lot of it? We go through quite a bit of soy sauce. So I find it's cheaper to buy it from an Asian grocer than it is to buy it from the supermarket or even Aldi. So I usually get the big bottles, decant it into the smaller bottle that goes in the pantry. So one big bottle a year is probably what I buy. Can't see, it's over there on the shelf somewhere. I don't know what size it is. It's quite big. One bottle a year does us the soy sauce in the big bottle. It's the thing that, and it is a bit cheaper at the Asian grocer, and it doesn't go off. It's got so much salt in it, it's never going to go off. Herbs and spices. If you use a lot of a particular herb or spice, don't buy the little packets. Look to buy the bigger ones. On that note, folks, the Reject shop sells quite a good range of Hoyt's herbs and spices for $1 a packet. Now they're around $2.30 a packet for that particular size in Coles. So it's a good saving if you want. They're just the basic range, the rosemary, basil, garlic, oregano, mixed herbs, cinnamon, nutmeg, whatever, just the basic spices, none of the more exotic ones in there, but they're $1 a packet. So that is a good saving for you. Katie's made a good point there that fruit can be made into fruit leathers if you dehydrate them. Now, if you get a bargain on your fruit or your veggies or whatever, and you think, I haven't got time to make jam, or I haven't got time to stew apples, or I haven't got time to make pasta sauce, put it in the freezer. By all means, buy it. It's a really good deal. You're going to buy it. Bring it home, put it in the freezer until you do have time. You can make jam with frozen fruit. You can stew frozen fruit. You can use frozen tomatoes and things in your pasta sauce. So don't pass up a good bargain because you don't have time right now to go home and spend a couple of hours in the kitchen preserving it. Put it in your freezer. Lorraine, I like my Tetley extra strong, and I only ever buy it on half price. It's on sale at Coles this week, but it's not half price. It's still nearly $8 a box. I nearly choked. So that's not a stock up price at all. Right. Soup dump bags. Okay. Hindustan, yep. Hindustan Imports for Melburnians is Greens Road, Dandenong South. Not an overly big shop, but the range is amazing and the prices are outstanding. You can look online before you go to make up your shopping list so you know what you're getting and how much it's going to cost. But their prices are around, last time I did a price comparison on them, they were about 65% cheaper than buying the equivalent amounts from the supermarket. So it makes a difference. And I like Hindustan because I can get genuine bulk quantities of the things I use a lot. Right. Twinings extra strong English breakfast. That's what I like too in the red box. Oh, chili should just be banned, Patricia. Yuck. Don't like chili. All right, guys. So once you've got your basic groceries, you've got to get back to the stockpiling thing. We're running out of time. Got to get back to the stockpiling and building your stockpile easily. You've worked out your basics. You've worked out how far ahead you want to be. When you're a week ahead, aim for another week and then aim for another week or fortnight or month, depending on how you're doing this, so that you'll eventually get your stockpile to the point where you want it to be. Now, some people are comfortable with a month's worth of groceries and cleaning products and toiletries. Some people want more. They might like 3 months or 6 months or 6 weeks or 12 months. It depends on your circumstances. There is no right or wrong size to a stockpile. It really depends on your circumstances. It depends on whether you're family, single, couple, young children, older children, household like ours that shrinks and expands and shrinks and expands, and it's like the universe, and we're just going all the time because sometimes there's nobody here but me and Wayne, and sometimes there's 10 other people here. It's like that. So it depends on your needs as to how big you want your stockpile to be, and that's entirely up to you. Only you can decide. It could be that you need enough so that you don't have to shop while you're on holidays, or you might want enough to give you a 3-month buffer because you live in the country and sometimes you just can't get into town to do your groceries, or you get flooded in or snowed in or whatever happens, something happens. It might be that you want enough to just give you a bit of wriggle room in case you just go, can't be bothered going out this week, we're not going to do the shopping. Oh, we've got enough food in the house. Perfect. That's entirely up to you. But whatever you do and however big it is, you must use it. It's not for display. It's not there to look pretty for you to stand at starry-eyed and go, oh, I have the stockpile. It's so beautiful. I love it. Look at all that pasta and all that wonderful peanut butter or whatever it is. It's to be used. So as you do your meals and cooking through the week, you'll use things out of your stockpile. If you have trouble with using it, perhaps you might need to have a designated stockpile area and a designated pantry. And each week you'll go shopping in your stockpile and move what you need into your pantry so that it gets used. Now, when I say pantry, that's a general term that will cover your fridge and your freezer as well as your food cupboard. So you'll move from your personal shopping supermarket into your pantry and use it that way so that things get used. The other thing that you really need to do is remember first in, first out. So as you restock, move things to the front and put what you're buying, the newest stuff goes to the back, always. And that way you shouldn't ever end up with something that runs out of code, out of date, or goes stale or whatever. It will always be rotated through. So you should never have to worry about finding a tin of baked beans that's 14 years old, because you just like put stuff in and take it out, put stuff in, take it out, and you never ever got to the bottom of the baked beans, for instance. Okay. Does that make sense? Do you understand? Let me know if you don't. When you start off small, you'll have room probably in your kitchen to store stuff, and under the bathroom sink or in the laundry. But as your stockpile grows, if you want it to be more than, you know, a couple of weeks or a month's worth, you might need to start getting a bit more creative with where you put things. I hear all the time, oh, I have no room. There's no room in this house. There's no room in this house. There's bound to be room somewhere. It takes a little reorganizing, a little reshuffling, but you know, you can find things. Like, nothing wrong with putting toilet paper in the roof. Now we have the manhole into our attic is actually in our wardrobe. So it's easy enough for me to, I'm not allowed to anymore, but I used to climb up and pop stuff up there and just bring it down when I needed it. Now I have to get someone to do it for me because I'm not allowed to do the climbing. But, you know, dry goods will store in your attic like that. You can put soaps, spread them out through your linen, through the shelves of your linen cupboard, and let them scent your towels and your sheets and your tablecloths and things while they're waiting to be used. I have things like toothbrushes I take out of the packaging because it takes up too much space, and I've got one of those now. At the moment I'm using one of those, I think I showed you at the beginning of the year, those wrap lunch boxes. It was $1.49 or $1.29 from Aldi that holds wraps, and I use those for the new toothbrushes. Take them out of the packaging, they all fit in there, and that stands up in the cupboard. Takes up so much less space. You have to be creative about these things. I have tins in my laundry, big tins in my laundry that hold washing soda, bicarb soda, borax, and my washing powder, so that I don't have to keep the little containers. I can tip them all into one. They stack on the shelf nicely and neatly. You need to be a bit creative and think about it a bit, but it can be done. You can fit an awful lot into a wardrobe, top shelf of a wardrobe, into a suitcase. You just need to sit and think about where you're going to put your things, so that you can build your, sorry, I've got the hiccups again, build your stockpile and use it and have fun with it. Hello, Christine. Oh, Estelle's got a storage. Ooh, that would be so nice. Yep. Maureen's got a toilet paper in the dryer. I don't know how many times people would come to our house and look at the dryer and look at me, and I go, I don't use it. Open it, and it would be full of tea, or it would be full of soap, or it would be full of packets of something that, you know, whatever. I had powdered milk in it one year. It was a good place for it. We don't have a dryer anymore, so I actually quite miss that storage space, but not to worry. It's very important that you use your stockpile. There is absolutely no point in having it if you're not going to use it. Harry Potter's cupboard under the stairs. That would be really nice. Lots of people will you know, once the kids move out, turn one of the bedrooms into a pantry, stockpiling pantry. I'm not quite that far yet. I have my kitchen pantry, and I've got two sets of shelves in my laundry. And that's us, pretty much. The toilet paper's out in my shed. Otherwise, everything's in the house. The bathroom things go in the bathroom. The cleaning things go in the laundry. So it doesn't really take a lot of space to stockpile what we use for a year. It just fits. But you do need to be a bit creative. If you're going to be creative, though, make sure you keep a list so that you know where things are, because there's nothing worse than losing something and not being able to use it. All right, now. Okie dokie, sorry guys. On the Cheapskates Club website, there is, you won't be able to see it. Oh, let's see. This is a list, okay, of things that are in most well-stocked pantries. It's a printable list. It covers baking supplies, bread, canned goods, condiments, seasonings, your cereals, your grains, your beans, your legumes, that type of thing, fruits, what you should, you know, things that are good to have in the fruit bowl or the veggie crisper, things that would be good to have for your refrigerator and what you can put in your freezer. So it's on our website for you. It's a printable. It's easy to just click and print. Just to give you a list, a basic guide perhaps. Now, if you don't do a lot of baking, then you don't need a lot of baking supplies. But if you do a lot of baking, check the list. There might be something not on there that you need all the time. If you don't eat a lot of tinned foods, we don't actually eat a lot of tinned foods, but they're on our list. There you go. What you won't find on here, though, is a lot of convenience stuff, because I don't buy it. And so I'm not familiar with a lot of the convenience, and I use that term loosely, type things. The thing I would buy the most often would be the either the Mission or the Old El Paso, occasionally the taco kits on half price. The boys like those, and so if we're going to be away, I buy a couple of those and they fill them up with whatever they like, and it does them for a few meals. They're probably the thing that I buy the most. I'm just looking over to see what I can find. Sometimes I will buy no, really? Hannah buys packet mixes, cake mixes, because she just will get up and think she needs a cake for work. So 65 cents and an egg and some milk later, she's got a cake. Really? That's about it. I'm just looking. Crackers. I do buy crackers. Now I can make crackers, but I find biscuits fiddly. I'd much rather do a slice. That's why I turn most of my biscuit recipes become slices, because biscuits are just too fiddly. I don't have time to be scooping and just trying to see, can't think. Otherwise, that's about it. I don't know what else you'd think is a convenient product. Oh, cup of soups. I'll fess up and say I don't mind buying cup of soups for myself to take away camping with us. I might buy a pumpkin one or the chicken noodle one. When they're $1 a packet or 89 cents a packet, I might get a couple of packets. Otherwise, there's not really a lot. So, and even in the freezer, I buy the pastry, frozen pastry. So, not a lot of convenience type stuff comes into our house. We don't get ready meals, unless you consider baked beans or tin spaghetti a meal, because we do have those. But I don't have a lot of those, so you won't find them on the list because I don't know about them. I don't use them. I don't particularly want to use them. Have no room for them within what we eat and how we eat. So you won't find convenience things. If you're looking for those, you have to do your own research, folks. But I'd much rather have a pantry full of basics so that I can make the pizza dough, or I can whip up a quiche, or I can go, okay, we've got, I'll use Anne's example, some sausages. So let's make curried sausages and rice, because I've got curry and there's coconut milk over there and rice and some onion. Throw in some sultanas. We've got curried sausages and rice for dinner. That's pretty easy, and it uses up leftover sausages, because if you've got leftover sausages, you chop them up real fine. They go a long way in a curry sauce. So, whoops, something's happened somewhere. Sorry, folks. Don't know what it was. Anyway, right. Ah, Kathleen, did you print the list off yesterday? Well done. You're ahead of me. Was that ESP? That's great. Okay. All right. Pasta sauce and cup of soups. Yeah, I make the pasta sauce. It's really easy. Once I figured out how to make that curry, that chicken curry pasta and sauce, the rest were a breeze to make. So really easy. The name of the list is a well-stocked pantry list. Okay. Glennis. So there you go. Alrighty, folks. To build your stockpile easily and under budget, we'll go over this just slowly again. Make your list of things that you buy all the time. Things that go into your shopping trolley every time you go shopping. They're what you're going to start with. Then you're going to decide how far ahead you're going to get. So I suggest if you get paid weekly, you're a week ahead, fortnightly, a fortnight ahead, monthly, a month ahead. Then you're going to, when you make up your shopping list, before you hit the shops, you're going to get online, go through the catalogs, whatever, find what you're buying and see what's on sale, preferably half price. If it's on half price, you're going to buy two, one to use, one to put in your stockpile. If you have leftover grocery money, that becomes your slush fund, and you use that slush fund to buy extras of the things that are on sale to build your stockpile. If you've found something on your list that's on half price and you've bought two, next time you go shopping, you still buy whatever it is and the number that you would normally buy, because you want to build your stockpile up. So yeah, that's right. You've got two. Next time you just keep buying your regular amount until next time it comes on sale. Then you buy more and move the extras into your stockpile. That way you'll get ahead. You'll get ahead within your budget, and it won't take very long to do that. Now, you can start with just grocery items. You can start with just cleaning products. You could start with just toiletries, or it could be any combination, or it could be anything that's on your shopping list. Doesn't matter. Then you're going to bring it home. You're going to put it away. When you go shopping again, you bring home your groceries. They go to the back. First in, first out. So you move what you've already got forward, put the new stuff at the back, so that you are always rotating through your stockpile. Yep. Estelle, I have bottled so much pasta sauce in the last couple of weeks. I actually put the slow cooker away tonight. So I thought if I don't turn it off, wash it dry and put it away, the thing is going to blow up because it has gone continuously. The tomatoes this year were really slow, and the last couple of weeks they just have not stopped. I picked another washing basket full tonight. So there we go. All right, pantry salad, mixed beans, corn pineapple, olives, sun-dried tomatoes, anything fresh available. Sounds really good, Kathleen. Sounds really nice, actually. Yes, please, folks. If you've liked tonight's show, please click the thumbs up for me. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That way you won't miss out on a video if I upload them, or a live show. You'll always be notified. You won't have to rely on me to remind you. And if you think you know someone who might like what we've talked about tonight and might be interested in building a stockpile or whatever else we've talked about, excuse me, time for water, please share the video with them. The more people that know that you can live a really good life, debt-free, cashed up and laughing, without struggling, the better off the world will be, and we'll all survive much happier. We won't be stressed, we won't be running around, and we won't have 1,000 rolls of toilet paper that we had to pay on credit because we didn't have the cash for it. Alrighty, thank you. Estelle, just before I go, in spring I usually buy 3 tomato seedlings to get me started. Then I start the rest myself from seed. So for my winter garden, which is coming up now, I've started the seed for cabbages, broccoli, bok choy, cauliflower, silver bee have all been started, but I will also plant seedlings for cabbages, broccoli and cauliflower, because they're the slower things. So they take a bit longer to get started and get going. So if I've got seedlings, they're a bit more advanced, I use those. Alrighty, okay. Okay, guys, we're 8:33. Sorry, didn't mean to keep you late. Have a really good day tomorrow, and I'll see you on Thursday night. And I won't be cooking again until the kitchen's done. It's just chaotic, but I'll make a note that Karen wants pasta. It's really easy, and someone else wanted something else, but I'll make a note of it, and we will get to that too. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great evening.